If I could describe what it's like to have RRP, I can only describe what it must feel like for a bird born without wings, trapped by a condition and unsure of what's ahead. The journey through life can seem lonely and so unfair. Every surgery and procedure marks another brutal count, that the disease is ever present and shows no mercy or no bounds. My childhood stolen by its mystery and despair. Alone and confused, I grew up socially unaware. Afraid to speak up, too embarrassed to speak. I learned quickly on that self-isolation became much easier than having to repeat. Repeat the many times that no, I can't speak any louder. Only growing frustrated with my voice's lack of power. Now as an adult, I realize the strength that lies within, no longer hiding behind the shadows of the disease that shows no end. I will live my life each day at a time, no matter if I'm in an active or dormant phase. I will stand in gratitude for each season of change. I'm no longer feeling like a bird born without wings. It just took some time because while we hope, we also learn to breathe. My name is Brandi Allen, and I have a rare disease called recurrent respiratory papillomatosis. I'm headed into another surgery due to RRP. It's the day before Thanksgiving, so I'm a little disappointed, but hopefully I'm able to eat tomorrow and enjoy my family. RRP is a rare disease that originates from the HPV virus. The disease affects the vocal cord, larynx, and then in more severe cases, the lungs, which makes it hard for me to breathe and then also speak. I was diagnosed with RRP when I was 7 years old. There was not a lot of information about the disease then. As a kid and dealing with a rare disease that I didn't understand, let alone my peers or teachers or anyone at school, I remember one instance of being bullied. I believe it was like the last day of school, and I reached out to what would have been my crush at the time to give him a hug, and he punched me in the stomach and told me that he hoped this would fix my voice. And I remember that moment not only because of the pain of being hit, but just being hurt physically and emotionally for something that I didn't ask for. This time last week, I was having surgery, and this is a week later of healing and I guess sounding better. A lot of the information my doctor gave to myself and my family is completely different now. My doctor let me and my family know that the disease would be something that would go away over time. I did start to see a trend of the disease not being as aggressive. Towards later in my teens, I noticed less frequency of having to have surgeries. When I would say probably about 17 years old, I had my last surgery. Just going based on what my doctor told me about the disease, I thought I was done with RRP. And at 24, I felt like I was re-diagnosed. It felt like I had gotten hit by a train, thinking that I was only dealing with the disease as a child, and now understanding that as an adult, this will be a lifelong journey for me. It's completely devastating. The way I used to cope with the disease was to not explain myself. I went to a job interview. Instead of explaining, hey, I have a rare disease, I would simply say, I had a sinus infection or sinuses. It just became easier to hide behind the disease rather than talk about it. So I decided that I wanted to change the narrative. I reached out to the Recurrent Respiratory Papillomatosis Foundation and reached out to Kim, the president, and she has just been so helpful in helping me navigate, finding my voice with RRP. And with that, I've really found a strong passion and desire to advocate for others. There are so many people that are dealing with a disease like RRP that feel invisible, and I want them to feel seen and heard. I do recognize that I don't have as an aggressive form of disease as some of the other RRP warriors. So I want to make sure that I'm using my voice to bring awareness and shed light on something that others honestly can't speak up about.
Go ahead, Brand. What kind of day did you have?
Good day.
Yeah, speak up now.
Look at Daddy.
Good day.
Today you heard the very brave story from Brandi, and we are so thankful to have her as part of the RRPF. Brandi has helped select our first ever Patient Advisory Council, and they will come together in December at the RRPF RRP Roundtable, where clinicians from around the world will join together to find solutions to the problem of RRP. We need your help. Help us end the days of surgery being the only treatment for this disease. Partner with us so that we can make sure Brandi's story matters and that those being diagnosed today have a different story than someone like me. We are working hard to bring our community together, and we're so excited in 2025 to be starting patient meetups across the U.S. You can do your part too at home. Vaccinate your family against HPV. Help us to end RRP, as well as prevent HPV-related cancers. Together, we can end this disease.